Hello friends, welcome to Leg Life. My name is Adam and today's going to be a little bit different of a video, but hopefully for some of you a really helpful video, because today, well, gosh darn it, I'm teaching you how in the heck do you wash your hats. Now this is actually something that I've done for a long time and I've never once even considered including this in a vlog until I was recently in Florida and my friend Auburn asked, I don't know how we even got talking about it, asked about washing my hats. And she was like, why haven't you shared this yet? And I was like, I don't know, like, would people be interested in that? And so I then said to Marco Polo, to my friend Justin Zachman from RZ World, and I was like, Justin, you wear a lot of hats. Question, like, how do you wash hats? And so he told me how he washed his, but then he was like, wait, like, how do you wash yours? Like, I need to know, like, I need more information. And so then I went online and there's all sorts of questions from people like, how in the heck do you wash hats? And so I was like, well, you know what, gosh darn it, I am just going to include this in a Leg Life video. So today, I'm just gonna show you how I wash my hats. Now, there are a lot of ways that you can do this, and probably the two most common ways that I've heard of and that I've even tried are in the washing machine and in the dishwasher. Now, I'm gonna be totally honest, I have not had good luck with those for a couple of reasons. In the washing machine, it tends to be kind of violent, honestly. Like, it just, like, my hats get sort of beat up in the washing machine. And then in the dishwasher, it normally washes at such a high heat that a lot of my hats have come out damaged or the color's been faded. It's just like, neither of those have ever given me the result that I really want from washing my hats. And so through trial and error, I came up with this process, and just, you know, I didn't come up with this. This is something that I found online and tweaked that really, really works for me. Now, you guys know I wear hats in basically all of my videos, all of our videos, because, well, I'm balding and I'm self-conscious about it. I don't know how many hats I own, probably 30 or 40. Sherry just said from upstairs, too many. I'm gonna edit that out, Sherry. Not really, but probably 30 or 40. I own a lot of hats and I'm a big guy and I sweat. And so my hats get gross. And so washing them is something that I do regularly. Now, this is actually a really easy process. I do most of it by hand. So let me show you exactly how I do this. Now, I have two hats here that I am going to wash today. One of them is a Seahawks hat. You can just kind of like see the dirt on that. When you flip it around, you can see just like the sweat and all of that. I'm not confident that all of this is going to come out, but it will definitely look better. And this one is a Mariners hat, kind of similar. You can just see like a lot of the dirt. I have high hopes for this one. You can see some of like the white sweat on the back there. So those are the two hats that I'm going to clean. And then all that you're going to need is a sink or a bucket that I am going to fill one side of this with warm water. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then to this, I am just going to add about a tablespoon of laundry detergent, just like laundry soap. So we'll put that in there. We're going to let that suds up. And then the last ingredient that I'm going to use is some of this like OxiClean or the oxygen cleanser. This is something that I add like a scoop to our laundry. And so I'm going to take one scoop of that and I'm just going to sprinkle that in there. Now, as far as the temperature of the water, you're looking for, I'd say warm. You definitely don't want it to be hot, so kind of lukewarm, warm water. And we want to fill the sink enough with water that the hats could be fully submerged. So we're going to let that fill up. That looks pretty darn good. Now, a couple of things about hats I want to say really quick. This is not a process that you want to do if you have any older or vintage hats. So, hats that are older, hats that are vintage, have a cardboard bill. Now, we all know what happens when cardboard gets wet, not good things. And so what's gonna happen is you're basically gonna ruin the bill of your hat. Newer hats actually have like a hard plastic in there, it's not cardboard, and so that will be fine. The other thing I would know, or I would say to know, is that I have not found that when you wash your hats, it's like they're brand new. To me, there is no getting an old hat back to a brand new hat, at least that I've ever found. The key is just to get an old hat, cleaner. It's like a cleaner old hat, right? So that's kind of what we are doing today. So I don't expect either of these hats to become perfect, to become just like new, like the day I bought them. But what I do want is for them to be cleaner. And one of the ways that we're gonna know that they're cleaner is by how, you guys, it's nasty, is by how gross this water gets. Now, the length of this process does depend on how dirty your hat is. These hats are, I would say, this one is pretty bad. Like, it just feels really gross. In fact, this is a hat that I've almost thrown away a couple times because it's just like kind of nasty. My Blue Mariners hat is dirty, but not so bad. Now, there's one other item you'll notice I have here, which is the toothbrush. This is a soft bristled toothbrush, and what we will do with that is if there are any areas of clear staining, like on my Mariners hat here on the back, you can see there's a couple spots like along the bill. I will go through after it's soaked a little while and just give it like a really gentle kind of scrub. This isn't the kind of thing that you want to like go really hard, because what will happen is you will actually ruin and damage the fibers of the hat, and we don't want to do that. We want to be really, really gentle with this. So what I'm going to do with these hats actually is I'm going to let these soak for about 30 minutes. Now, I like to let them soak upside down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hat in, and then I'm just going to press it down into the water, let it fully submerge just like that, and then I'm going to put the other hat in there right next to it. In our sink, I normally do 2 hats at a time. I don't normally do more than that just because the 2 hats kind of fit. And now I'm just going to let these sit in there for a half an hour, and then when I come back, I'm going to spot clean them with the toothbrush and show you what the next step is for cleaning hats. Is this the riveting YouTube content that some of you guys want? Here's what I will say. We say all the time that Leg Life, we exist to inform, inspire, and do good. And my hope is that this informs some of you fellow hat wearers out there who are wearing super gross, super sweaty, super dirty hats. You need to clean yourself, okay? That's what I'm trying to help you do today. Okay, I want to show you guys something. These hats have been in there, honestly, maybe 3 minutes. Like, not even long at all. And I don't know if you can see this, but look at the color of the water already. Can you see how dirty it is already getting? You guys, it's so gross. And that's after just a couple of minutes. So, we're gonna continue to let these soak. We'll be back. I just wanted to show you it's nasty. Okay, friends, my timer on my phone, it just went off. 30 minutes is up. We're gonna check on the hats, see if they need more time. So let's look at them. First of all, the water is so gross. Like, do you just see that? Nasty. Okay, so here's what I want to show you a couple things right now. On the underside of this hat, if you remember, the gray hat was the worst by far. And obviously, like, in this like area is where there's a lot of sweat. And so I actually can feel, and I don't know if you can see it, like scraping some up with my fingernail. Look at that. A lot of that is like, it's almost got like a greasy consistency to it, because I think it's just like that sweat and dirt coming off. But here's what I'll say. The hat that used to feel super stiff and super rough is now feeling better. But what I'm going to do with this hat is I'm actually going to take my toothbrush and I'm going to just really lightly go like along the edge right under here and try to get some of that up. So let's do that now. Also, look at the water, you guys. Oh. So actually, first what I'm going to do, let's drain this nasty water. Oh my gosh. Let's drain this nasty water. That is so freaking gross. Okay, sink is drained, and I want to show you, if you look under here, can you kind of see that sweat line right there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some warm water, and I'm going to rinse the hat. Give it like one good rinse. Try to get off as much of that soap, as much of that OxiClean as possible. Just like give it a really good rinse and see how it looks. That's pretty good. Now I'm just gonna give it a quick, just squeeze. And I'll squeeze this hat like this because this is like more of a flexible, it's not as fitted as the other one. But then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my toothbrush, again, make sure it's like a soft bristle, and I'm just gonna go like right along the edge here where there would be potentially some like sweat marks or stains, and just kind of give it like a little brush. And then under here where you can see that sweat line, I want to give it a brush as well. Remember, we're not scrubbing this super hard because we don't necessarily want to like ruin the fibers, but you can see even that sweat line is now gone on the hat. Awesome. The other part that was dirty on this hat was kind of along the brim here. Honestly, it looks really good, but I am going to take my toothbrush and I'm just going to go over this yellow part, the logo on the back, just to clean it up a little bit. And honestly, this hat I think is done. This one doesn't feel greasy like the other one does. It doesn't feel really dirty like the other one does. So now I'm going to give this a really good rinse. Like just really, really soak this out and rinse it all the way through. Because remember, this was like sitting in all of that dirty and gross water. And so we really want to rinse all of that away. Make sure all of that was in the hat is gone. And then you're going to want to take a cloth. I'm going to use just like this microfiber cloth. And I'm just going to go through, and you're obviously not going to fully dry it, but we're just going to like dab it dry. Now, you don't want to rub it because again, that could disturb the fibers of the hat, right? And so we're just going through and kind of dabbing some of the water away. And I like the microfiber for this because it's so absorbent. I would say that's pretty good. It's obviously still really wet, but it's going to be. So there we go. And now I'm going to take this hat and I'm going to set it right over there and let it dry. Now, let's go to the bad one. You can still see, like, look at that. There's so much grossness and so much gunk on this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get that water going and we're just going to go through and start scrubbing this. Trying to get all of that off. And that is a combination of like all of the dirt, all of the oil, all of the sweat, all of just like the grossness that your head and body puts off that catches in your hat. There's a big line of it right here along the edge, and this is the kind of place that it catches. Like right here along the edges, under here along the brim. Those are normally the worst places. And honestly, this hat is so bad, or was so bad, that I may soak this one more time. This one might need a second soak. I will say, I can already tell that a lot of this is coming off. I think I said earlier in the vlog that this is a hat that I had considered like just tossing because of how nasty it was. But I'm actually a little bit hopeful that we may be able to salvage this bad boy. Now this hat is a little bit more fitted, so like I'll squeeze out back here with water, but like I don't want to squeeze this part just because it's got kind of like a fitted dome on it. So I think I'm going to call this good for this one. Now, if I need to re-clean this hat, if it needs like one more soaking, I'll know that after it dries. But for the sake of this video, I think we'll call that good. So again, I'm just going to take my towel, my microfiber cloth, and we're just going to go through and just kind of pat dry the hat. Now, with a hat like this that has like a form to it, you want to make sure you could get like a bowl or a coffee can or something to like keep inside it so that as it dries, it holds that same shape. I'm just going to make sure that when I set it down, it kind of is shaped like I want it to dry. It's crazy because this hat already is so much better than it's been in like years. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to save this hat. Nice. Okay, now this one is gonna go right over here next to that. And again, we're just going to make sure it's nice and domed. That's fine, that's kind of what I'm looking for. The bill's flat. Now, those two are just gonna sit there and dry. So that is how I clean my hats. Now again, if a hat was really, really dirty, you could let it sit for a few hours in that solution. You could give it a scrub with a toothbrush, gently, remember, and then actually put it back in, rinse the dirty water, fill it back up, put more laundry detergent in there, more OxiClean in there, and do it again until the hat is clean. Some hats are just like super, super gross, and they do need to be done a few times. Fortunately, I think both of these one time will do it. So I'm gonna let these sit here. Honestly, I normally let them sit overnight, but I don't have that long because of the vlog has to be up on Friday, and I'm filming this on Thursday night. So we're gonna check back in a few hours on these hats and see how they've dried. Okay friends, a few hours have passed. The hats are still a little bit damp, but mostly dry. I want to show you how they turned out. First of all, let me just show you them. So here's hat number one, you guys. This is my Seahawks flat bill, and I don't know if you remember the discoloration that existed like on the back and the sides of this hat, but if you look at it, that discoloration is now gone. Also, I want you to look at this. Look in the inside of the hat at how white. Just so you know, those spots you see like in there, those are just lint that I'm going to roll out once this is dry. That's not dirt, but like look at how crisp and white the inside of this hat looks. Even the bill that was so gross looks so much better. So this hat, you guys, this is the hat I was thinking about throwing away. It has not looked this good in so freaking long. Sorry, I'm looking at it in the view screen. I'm so happy. Okay, so that's one hat. This next one is my Mariners hat. And you will remember with this hat, along the edge, it was discolored because of sweat all along here. Look at how crisp that white 47 is. Look at along the back. Do you guys remember? It was like all white and sweaty and gross around there. Look at how good that looks. Now you will notice a little bit like right in here, it looks like there's a little bit of like discoloration still. That's actually because of how it's drying. So that will even out once the hat dries. And then I want to show you the inside of this hat as well. Like look at how good the inside of the hat looks. Oh my gosh. And then putting it on. You guys, look at this. Okay, I am so freaking thrilled. Now what I'm gonna do with these hats is I'm actually gonna let them sit out overnight. So they're gonna have another, like honestly, like 9 or 10 hours just sitting out. I want them to be totally, totally dry. They're still like mostly dry, a little bit damp. So I'm just gonna let them sit out, continue to dry. But I'm super happy. I can tell that neither of these are going to need to be washed again. These are just gonna be done just as is. So friends, that is what I do. That is how I wash my hats. Again, I know a very different vlog, a vlog that is not applicable for everybody. I know a lot of people already have ways they wash their hats. You wash your hats in the top rack of the dishwasher, or in the dishwasher, or in the washing machine. You guys, I've tried that too. And I do understand that there are some hats that I would do that with, but I have a lot of hats that I really like, hats that I just love and I want to keep in good shape. And for me, hand washing them this way actually takes better care of the hats, helps them last longer. When there's areas that need like spot cleaned, I take that toothbrush, I just scrub it a little bit, and then I just clean it with two things. About a tablespoon and a half of laundry detergent. Just so you know, I do use, let me show you, I do use like a free and clear. This is what we use for like Sherry's skin. I like the fact that it doesn't have any scents or dyes in it, though. I think it works great for the hat, because then the hat now just smells like, it smells just clean, like fresh and clean. Hats normally smell gross. Y'all ever smelled like a sweaty, nasty, needs to be washed hat? It's gross. This just smells fresh and clean, and they both look so much freaking better. Also, I love that they hold their shape. Even my flat bill. If this flat bill had gone in a dishwasher or had gone in the washing machine, it would not look like this. So there you go. Adam's first ever hat cleaning vlog. I hope you guys liked it. This is just something, like I said, I've done this for years. This is just kind of what I have done for a long time, and I never thought about vlogging it until Auburn told me that I should, and my friend Justin Zachman confirmed that fact. So friends, I hope you guys found this helpful and useful. Let me know in the comments below, do you have a way that you wash your hat, or you wash your hats? Are your hats super nasty and gross? Are you going to try this? I will say, if you do try this, I want you to do me a favor. Please do this for me. Take a photo of your super, super gross hat water, because it's gonna be nasty. And I want you to message me either on Instagram, DM me at LegLife on Instagram or on Facebook, and do something to get a hold of us, because I want to see your gross hat water. I want to know that you guys are doing this and that it's working and that your hats and your heads are clean because of it. Friends, I love you so darn much, and I'll see you guys on the next LegLife video.